welcome our people from all over the world. This is TJK Shares One-on-One with TJK. As we promise you, we bring you people who have done transformational work or continue to do that work in this world to make it a better place. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so pleased and humbled today to host yet another person who I have personally mentored and I've seen him grow from a young man to now a big man doing big things in Uganda. Join me in welcoming Maurice. Maurice, welcome, my man, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a privilege and honor to be sharing this conversation with you, my mentor. I'm really honored.
Our audience is waiting and excited to hear about you. Briefly, tell us about yourself.
My name's Maurice Hasa. Many of you know me as Maurice Hasa, a musician using music as a platform to advocate for the rights of children in Uganda. Also the founder and chairman Kaleke Kasome Foundation, an initiative that is whose focus is to promote girl-child education in rural communities through advocating against sexual and gender-based violence of children and adolescents across Uganda. I'm a great believer in teamwork and collaborations. I'm also a front discipline as a yardstick to tame self and also respect for others regardless of age, race, gender. Yeah, that's briefly about me.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Unfortunately, I don't have sisters. We are only 4 brothers. I'm the third born in my family.
Third born in a family of boys, musician, as you introduced yourself. I know that's how we met many years ago through Richie Hand and Humphrey Nabimanya, who has been here before. And Kaleke Kasome is right there on your chest as the foundation you started. How did you get into music? What led you to start singing and what was your first song?
What inspired me into music is that I come from a religious background where my family, my whole clan is of Adventists. Okay. And Adventists with Adventist family, music is everywhere, at church, at home. We used to have those choirs, those best choirs then, and then I would listen to music, and then I would practice music. And then my parents still took me to Adventist schools where still music was the order of the day. So it gave me an opportunity to practice more on my abilities, and I loved to sing more since childhood. I used to sing in choirs and so on. We had a group in school called The Rays, where I was the lead singer in Greenville High School. Started my passion of singing early, and my parents are also lovers of music. My mom was in a church choir. So I think music was somehow in the family, and also with the support of the parents. Yeah, it helped me. And then also when I went to school, the schools also, they somehow gave us a platform to practice and make our vocals better. So that's how I came to fall in love with music.
You and I have had these conversations before about music and the pressure that comes with performing, traveling, staying up late, and everything. You just mentioned about your parents being Seventh-day Adventists, which is something we have in common. Please share with young people who are aspiring to be musicians right now, the challenges, the pressure. Many people think every musician uses drugs and smokes marijuana, and that's how they get on the platform. Give advice to young people who want to do music and how they can stay on that straight line without conforming or compromising themselves just because they want to sing.
Well, music comes with a lot of challenges, a lot of pressure. And then when you get there and become famous, it comes with another added pressure and burden that you have to deal with. You have to deal with the pressure that comes with the fame, and also to maintain the fame, the pressure that comes from the fans, what they expect of you, and remember also what your parents or your people expect of you. But first, it goes back to where you were brought up from. As for me, I'll use my example. My religious background played a big role in humbling me and instilling discipline in me, that wherever I was in the music industry, I remember my father is the church elder, and he wasn't happy when I was joining the music. He knew I was a good singer, but he thought I maybe join church and sing gospel and maybe be in church. But because of the many people I had made along the way, the competitions we did in Kampala, the different music promoters, they focused me in a different direction, that I saw I had an opportunity to sing, and not only sing to one section of the community, but the whole country and the whole world at large. But my father knew he wouldn't stop. He knew how passionate I was. I remember one thing he said to me. He told me, make sure whatever you do out there, whatever you want to achieve, don't humiliate yourself trying to achieve it. Always remember what you represent, because you will need yourself in the future. So don't lose yourself. So it comes back to the society I grew up in. The society itself is the schools. They had their boundaries that you wouldn't cross. And now my advantage was I became a superstar at a very young age and in school. I remember in Greenville High School, my colleagues that I went to, the Tanzanians, the Kenyans, and many Ugandans can tell I was very famous in school, that whenever I passed a classroom, I would disrupt the lesson. Students would get out of the window to shout, and then till it became a problem, I would leave many people, whenever I would pass, I would leave many people being given punishments for shouting, for disrupting, until they had to give me rules. Please, when you're in class, settle down. Now I had to discipline myself. I was playing two roles: a role of a student and then a superstar in the same school. Remember, I'm a student myself. I attend the same classes, same dormitory. I line up for the same meals with them, and then I interact with the same students at the same level. That itself humbled me, that whenever I'm on stage, I'm a different person and I perform my best to entertain my crowd. But when I get off, it was, and if you remember, it was it was chapel time. At Adventist, you have to be extremely humble. You go back down after performing. You have to humble yourself and fit in as a student. Now, this same kind of experience I had gotten in school humbled me. Yeah, that's why people will find me and say, you don't behave like a superstar. Superstars don't breathe like you're doing. Superstars don't humble themselves like you're doing. You see, and I think this kind of experience that I got in school is the same experience that is helping me in the CSO world, because in the professional world, you have to be extremely disciplined. You have to play teamwork. You have to be a team player. You don't have to see yourself up there and others down. You have to be on the same level to achieve a certain goal. So the best advice I can give my fellow artists, whoever that is aspiring to be a musician, remember who you are. Remember where you're from. Remember what you represent. Don't ever forget the people you represent. What do they believe in? What do you believe in? Don't lose yourself, because the advice I can give you, you're not going to be a superstar forever. It has a grace period. Yeah, you have to always plan for after my grace period of being a superstar. What next? We've seen the likes of Michael Jackson. We've seen so many musicians that were so big, and now their shine is now no longer as it used to be. Yeah, and now they are engaged into other things of business. Yeah. So you need to humble yourself and to have a vision and a plan, but don't lose yourself in the process.
Maurice, thank you so much for that advice. It was through this music that you developed a strong passion for gender-based violence and for a girl child advocacy for girl child and human rights and activism. I cannot forget when you released the song Kaleke Kasome and the video that you proceeded to put together, and then the book Sharon's song that followed up uh, with that. Please tell our audience about the time when you met Sharon, the child you started advocating and eventually wrote a song about her.
The story of the song, that was Kaleke Kasome, happens to be my very first song I released in 2005. The Kaleke Kasome song itself is deep rooted. It's a story that is deep rooted from an experience, an incident that happened in my community growing up.
Yes.
Back in 1994, in my neighborhood, a little girl named Sharon. It's not her real name.
Yes.
But
yes.
Yes, Sharon was this lively young girl, 4 years old. Lively. We remember the neighborhood was a very lively and friendly family, and it was a family of 5 girls, where the eldest was 17 years, and the youngest, Sharon, was 4 years old. Now, one fateful afternoon, Sharon goes missing instantly. We thought it was something simple. After like 15 minutes of search, family sounds an alarm. Our little girl has gone missing. Now, everybody in the community becomes concerned because they knew very well this family. Whenever there was a problem in the community, they were involved, they were friendly. So everybody came to their rescue to search for Sharon. They looked everywhere, but what they had not searched properly was the next door in the neighborhood. Then one of the ladies who had come in the crowd is like, but have you checked that house properly? They are like, we have checked everywhere. Please check again. She insisted. And when they did not, she went in herself and checked. Even the people from that same house said, we had checked. Well, when they went back and they checked everywhere, but they did not check on the bed. When they went to check on the bed to remove the curtain, to remove the curtain, Sharon was there, lying unconscious in blood. And then we had screams as we were outside. I remember I was little by then, but we had screams. Cut the long story short, Sharon had been defiled by a 26-year-old man and left for dead. But to cut the long story short, Sharon was later rushed to hospital and rehabilitated, but the deep scars from the incident left deep scars, not only the family, but the community members also. So this memory kept on haunting me. And when I went to Mukono for my secondary, these incidences were everywhere. I remember Miriam Matembe was then vocal about sexual violence and defilement of girls that was all over. In my senior 4 vacation, as I'd started practicing now writing music professionally, I penned down Kaleke Kasome. And by the time I put my pen down, I was writing the words. The whole paper was all drained in tears. I remember in my room because I was writing something very painful, and that was the birth of Kaleke Kasome, the song. Little did I know that what I had written was going to be consumed by the entire country and beyond. And Kaleke Kasome became one of my biggest songs. Everywhere in Uganda, every corner, Sudan, Congo, Kenya, Rwanda, Kaleke Kasome, it became an icebreaker on issues of sexual and gender-based violence.
As a result of you becoming an advocate for Sharon herself, we used the pseudonym to protect her identity. But Sharon is still alive. She survived this traumatic experience, and you've become an advocate not only for Sharon only, but for the entire country and for the entire world. As a man who sings and speaks about gender-based violence, you have gone to Nyakajezi and you were the first person to perform, first musician to perform in 2018 on our work against gender-based violence. You left an amazing track record on the village and the people who were there. The problem we are facing, Maurice, is a world problem. Here in the United States, sexual assault still happens on colleges, in schools, in the communities, everywhere in the world, trafficking of young girls happens. So our work is cut out. You went ahead and started a foundation and then named it Kaleke Kasome. Please let our listeners know how you birthed that organization. You are the founder and CEO, and what work it does on the ground in Uganda.
Now the birth of Kaleke Kasome Foundation starts through working with Humphrey of Richer Hand, Uganda. Humphrey was like, you are brilliant brain and you have brilliant abilities, because then Richer Hand was just starting. But I'd earlier met also Sharon, who happens to be my friend and a very great fan of mine who advised me on several occasions. I moved with Sharon. I remember she once managed me in the music industry, yes. But she kept on advising me and telling me, Maurice, I think we should do this beyond just music. We have this as a bigger problem. Singing about it will not be just enough. And I was like, how can we do this? I was so passionate about charity from childhood, but I didn't have any experience or exposure of running an organization. As a result of that song, you wrote a book with Paul Sutherland, Sharon's song, but you also went ahead with Sharon, and now Sharon, the real name, my niece, to launch Kaleke Kasome as an organization. So what I would like you to, just as we get closer to concluding, tell the audience what now Kaleke Kasome does, Kaleke Kasome Foundation, and then where you get inspiration every day to run an organization in Uganda, and how the world can chip in to help you to run it properly. Thank you so much. I was still telling you, Sharon helped me shape the idea. We can start an organization, and through the work you started, reach out to more children and advocate for more that are suffering in silence, and bring this to the knowledge of the duty bearers to see that their voices are heard. So we started Kaleke Kasome Foundation in 2014, but fully registered as an NGO in 2016, with a focus to advocate for the rights of children, but with a major focus to advocate against sexual and gender-based violence of children and adolescents, just like in the other song, Kaleke Kasome, that from its story of the girl that was sexually abused. Now from the song, the Kaleke Kasome the Foundation was born to advocate more for more children that are being abused and suffering in silence. So we started up this organization to create awareness about the problem of sexual violence. And my God, we found a very huge problem that when we dived in, now I got to know the real problem and what is happening to so many children that are being abused and suffering in silence. Now, Kaleke Kasome Foundation's focus, we have 4 thematic areas that focuses on child protection. That's why we create awareness about the sexual violence and promote more children's rights by also involving leaders in the different communities to harmonize on uniform strategies of how we can curb sexual violence, but also involving children themselves involved to have personal security skills as children, and also youth to help protect the children and the community at large. So we are doing this work in Mpigi and the surrounding communities. And then also we are promoting girl-child education in this same region, where we've supported over now 56 children through education. Some are in university now. And we have a community library to further help the marginalized children that cannot access these reading materials in their localities, rural communities. We also have a computer lab to help them further. All these are to help because we believe that if a child is in school, if a girl is in school, there are lesser chances of them being abused or being lowered into child marriage. So we promote more of education to see that we curb this and we continue to advocate for. So what inspires me to continue doing the work I'm doing is the team. Sharon is now a board member. Previously, she was the executive director and she did a tremendous job in the administration to streamline the administration and that. And what inspires me more is the numbers of children we have rescued from sexual violence, from child marriage, and the awareness, the numbers. We have reached over 40, we have reached over 146 people through our advocacy work. That inspires me to every day wake up and ensure that I continue with the organization. I told you we've educated some of the children, like 56, over 56. Seeing these children completing school and seeing the community being aware and now comes in defense of the children, of the girl child, to protect them, to value them. This gives me strength to our work and know that we're doing something and we're impacting society.
Are you able to put people who are sexually molesting, defiling, raping children? Are you able to get the perpetrators in jail?
Yes, at our office here, we work with a network of duty bearers, yes, police, the community, parents, the children themselves. We run campaigns to break the silence, encourage them to report these cases. So together, we try to teach them the referral system, the referral guidelines. If you're abused, where do you go to? And how can you get help? And whenever you find difficulty in finding assistance through the legal system, please come to our office. So we help them navigate the referral guidelines for survivors of sexual violence. And together with the police and the other duty bearers, we help find justice for these children. And since we started this work, we've managed to curb 78 perpetrators. These are perpetrators that we have successfully brought to book with the help of the justice system.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. As long as these people are not walking around, then our girls can be victors and victorious and not be traumatized every time they pass the areas where they were sexually assaulted. So thank you for that work. I am going to try to conclude this by asking you if there is anything that you would like to talk about that I didn't ask you.
Thank you for the privilege. Please, first, I will ask people to support us Go to our website, www.kalekekasome.org. Our Facebook is Kaleke Kasome Foundation. Our Instagram is Kaleke Kasome Foundation. Our Twitter is @Kaleke Kasome. You can support us. And then we have a new initiative that we started. We launched in 2021. It's called the Girl Champions Awards. This one is, we thought of a different approach of motivating and encouraging girls and young women to be self-reliant and not always be on the side where society has put them, to be behind the curtains or to be behind the kitchen. We started up a platform that encourages girls and young women to come at the table. Yeah, come at the table. The Girl Champions Awards is an initiative, is a platform that looks forward to celebrate the outstanding achievements of girls and young women across all sectors of health, education, innovation. So the Girl Champions Awards looks for which girl has unique innovations or has excelled in the field of agriculture and environmental conservation. We look for this girl and the other girls in the different regions, and we award them. We celebrate them for their achievements. Yeah. Instead of us sitting down and saying, we don't have this, we don't have this, we have those girls that have gone an extra mile to say, no, with the small available resources I have, I can do this, and they have done that. We have stories of a girl who did bricklaying and educated herself. Yeah. We want such stories to inspire other girls out there to see that we can. Yeah, because we are having so many cases of abuse that come from girls not believing in themselves, that they too can come and make a difference in their own lives, and so in so doing also inspire others. So the Girl Champions Awards is coming to discover and put their works on the spotlight for the other players, to support them, motivate them, and award them for the tremendous achievements they are doing. So this year we are having the Girl Champions Awards on October 10th. We usually celebrate in the month of the International Day of the Girl Child.
Yes.
To bring these issues together and to bring them to the light of the country.
All right. You heard the man, October 10th, 2023, Girl Champions Award. You mentioned one person who has won before. Are there other names you would like to mention who have won the Girl Champion Award in the past years? One or two?
No, we have not held the actual ceremony.
Okay.
In 2021, it was launching at Serena Hotel. We were mobilizing different players, different duty bearers, government officials, CSO world, different players to come and introduce the initiative to them. So we successfully launched in 2021. Then last year, we again had the fundraising flag off ceremony. All these were initiatives to kind of mobilize and rally the public and different CSOs and to own it as their own, not to own the platform, and to also help us push it forward. Now this year that we are very sure that we've mobilized and we've tried to educate people about what the Girl Champions Awards is coming to do.
Yes.
We now want to have the actual event.
What advice would you give an 18-year-old, 18 to 21-year-old person right now?
Well, the advice I would give an 18-year-old self, me, is to avoid groups.
Okay.
That almost cost me. I've never shared this story, but that almost cost me. But because I'd been parented, I'd been guided by my parents, I always remembered their guidance. Youth groups, there are different things that go on there. And not everybody in the groups growing up has a vision.
Mm.
Now, I got myself in a mix of people who didn't have a vision. The groups of the people I was with during that age, most of them are wasted. The majority wasted in. Some got HIV. I passed one recently, and I really got a pity. He was working with KCCA, sweeping the road. These were groups that woke up, thought nothing but being around, having a good time, sleeping around, smoking, all sorts of intoxications. And I tried it I tried it in my early days also. But as I said, what got my conscience back was the parenting, the guidance I got. That reminded me that this is not you. So to any young person out there, know your vision, look for people that matter in your life, and make those your friends. Don't look for just anybody to be your friend. Look for people that matter, people that add value to your life.
That is the best advice. And like Jesus said, let all the children come to me, because we are all children. Your advice is not only really applicable to young people. Anybody who surround themselves with bad people that you don't get value from, they will drag you down. Always aim higher, surround yourselves with positivity, people who will love you and care for you and tell you the truth, so you can grow and continue to learn and relearn things as we continue to do this work. As a singer, we can't let you go without at least people hearing your voice. So as we're going to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe, please share, and make Maurice's work be heard all over the world. We appreciate what you do. I'm going to ask you humbly to maybe do a chorus of Kaleke Kasome or something, so people can always remember Maurice the singer, Maurice the dad, Maurice the father. You are a husband, you are a father, and you continue to advocate for girls and girl champion and justice and human rights. Thank you for joining us. Please conclude us out. We appreciate you.
Gumikiriza kachari kato swama lulala tolumya kaleke kaleke kasome kanyabo kaleke gumikiriza gwe kachari kato swama lulala oyi